Being a mother, to me, being a mother has its ups and it has its downs. And some things you never realize that when you become a mom too is how judgy people are going to be towards you too. Family members and friends are going to be like, you're doing this wrong, you're doing this right, etc., etc. So you as a mother have to have your own opinion and have your own say so and have to stand firm on what you believe as a mom, because it's going to be all over the place with other people. Like, it's like chaotic being a mother. It's like, do this, you're doing this wrong, and take advice. I recommend that. But also at the same time, like I said, if you don't believe in something or you don't want something for your kids, then don't do it, or just research it and whatnot, etc., etc. Make sure it's the healthiest for your child, and you're the parent. Make the best decisions you can as the parent. But yeah, it's like being a mom for me is like you're happy some days, and other days you miss being single and doing your own thing. Being the only thing you have to think about when you're, solo before kids is you just have to think about yourself and keeping yourself safe and fed. And then once you have kids, you're just like, everything just revolves around them. So you forget about yourself, and it's hard to catch up sometimes. Like me, my kids are always dressed great and adorable, and my son and daughter are usually always fed healthy, and they're spoiled because I constantly hold them all the time. I just don't believe in the whole people, and that's your own opinion again, believe in the whole crying out method in the crib. Once in a while I have to do that because I have things to do. I have to grab the load of laundry before it gets wrinkled. I have to go to the restroom. I have to eat or I'm going to die, because yeah, kids won't even let you eat. You'll see that. And what's hard too is some people have more help than others as a mom and others don't. It's like so hard sometimes. Oh my gosh. Like sometimes, and then being a mom too, sometimes you want other people to babysit, but like for me, you have OCD and don't trust people to babysit, so you're just like 24 hours 7 days a week have your kids, but you get burned out like I do sometimes, just burned out and crash. I'm just like, I miss being single, I miss being solo, I miss watching a movie in quiet just 2 hours by myself, just quietness in a movie. I miss that for sure. Like most of the time I have to give the TV to my kids to watch cartoons, to watch YouTube channels, to watch Paw Patrol. Usually, thank God, my son's 2 years old, so he's watching educational to learn color and alphabets, letters. And they say this one girl that teaches you sign language. I'm learning sign language right now for my kids. And just in case we bump into another child that knows sign language, so I'll know it. I'm doing that in memory of my brother who passed away. I love my brother, he's in heaven. But anyways, before I get sidebarred, but yeah, God help my mother with that heartbreak. I couldn't imagine losing a child. That is definitely probably is the worst, because losing a parent's bad, losing your spouse is bad, but losing a child is the final line of, you'll want to, like, you get suicidal as a parent for sure. I'd understand that. I couldn't imagine my life now without my son or daughter. Even with them having growth spurts and staying up all night, scream crying, staying with the teething. Oh, as a mother, those are the roughest nights, those growth spurts. And growth spurts, like, they have every so often. Usually when a child stays awake and won't go to sleep, and they've been up for 2 hours, 3 hours, and they're just crying and fussy. I mean, from like newborn on down, like even thank goodness toddlers stop. Like my son's 2, he stopped that pretty much. Now he only does that, like, maybe I would say like twice a year. So not bad at all. Well, so far, yeah, not bad. So like I said, so far, like last year, not too bad at all. Hold on, it's skipping. The remote. But yeah, but being a mother for me is, people judge you because people might be great moms, good moms, trying to hang in there sometimes, but I feel like we're all there as moms on the Richter scale. Sometimes we have a great day with the kids and it's lovely, we had a good time, and they're a little rough, tolerate those tantrums, they do that, and the newborn was crying off and on, that's normal. And there's days where they're both just fussy, cranky, crying, and you're just like, my mind's gonna explode, and you just feel like you're gonna go insane and just burned out, crash. And those moments too, and I ask God to help me. That's one thing I do daily, because you have to, as a mom, having an infant and having a toddler for me. So yeah, oh my goodness, it's just like I said, has its ups and downs. We have a good couple hours, 3 hours of goodness, and then my toddler throws the tantrums. My daughter's crying at the same time to be held. So it's ups and downs. I feel like you have to definitely be patient with yourself, and as long as they're fed safe and you obviously don't beat a child. Obviously, screaming's normal as a mom, but that's what I'm trying to do this year, 2023 too, is to less scream. Once in a while, it's like, you just lose it sometimes. You're just like, please be quiet, guys. Just chill. Ronnie, and like my son, I tell him, don't get into that. I'm trying to learn, to mellow the tone. It's just because, they say, your children absorb your energy. So usually if you're in a negative, bad mood, they're going to be worse. And if you're calm down, take a breath outside, like that's what I try to do. Take a breath outside, make sure they're safe with a grandparent or their father, and just take a breath outside. And usually I have like a good 10-15 minutes by myself. That's all I get. And just to mellow it out, and it's lovely. But yeah, you really wish you had more help as a mother, for sure. But the number one person for me is I love my mother to watch my son, because they're best friends. The toddler, the infant's still too small, so she's with me, and at least I have one down. But I only see her once a week for now because the gas is so high. She's cities away. But yeah, mom life. You have to be patient with yourself, like I'm saying. It's hard. It's hard, but worth it in the end, right? Especially the newborn, infant, toddler. Those are the ups and downs more. They say teenager too. Obviously, I don't know, because I'm just catching up. I just only have a 2-year-old and a 5-month-old right now in January 2023. So I'm just trying to help another mama too that's a new mom and whatnot. It's like I said, just always research things, look things up if you're not sure about something. And I'm like, yeah, people are going to be judgy, but just don't be hard on yourself. As long as the kids are safe, loved, and fed, and they're warm and cozy, and like they're in new clothes, because you always have to constantly change, usually, especially an infant, because they drool and the poop so much and the pee. The toddler, once in a while, when they get in mud or just get food all over them, so that's changing once in a while. Like my son's too, he barely gets changed. Like, I mean, clothes wise, not diaper. Diaper you have to do all the time. I'm saying clothes wise, that you don't have to change them as much as an infant and newborn anymore. They're not throwing up constantly. That'd be bad at his age. At 2, they shouldn't be throwing up like all the time. Just now at 2, and just never really, unless they throw up now, it's because they ate something wrong or something. At 2 years old, I mean. My infant, of course, she's 5 months, so she once in a while will go blah. But yeah, so, and then like if you choose certain brands that you like too with things as a mom, just go with what you want. My recommendation would be Dr. Brown's bottles, because I tried Avnet. I tried super expensive ones at Target. I can't think of, no, not Tomy Tippy. I tried those though, but something else, I think that is though. We tried bottle after bottle with my son, at least. So with your first, you're going to like try everything until you figure out what you like. With me, I stuck with Dr. Brown's, because my son was super colicky as a newborn compared to his sister, who's my 5-month-old right now. My son's, like I said, the 2-year-old. Like, he was super colicky. He had like GERD. It was really bad. He'd scream, cry, and that just means they have just stomach acid, and it hurts so bad. And my gosh, would he scream, cry for a long time, and there's nothing the doctors could do about it, because his stomach just has to mature. That's not surgery wise. That's just, they need to grow up and mature their stomach. So yeah, sometimes if your little newborn or infant scream crying, usually it's their tummy most of the time. They're hungry, or their tummy, or they pooped, but usually most of the time it's the stomach pain, because it's just maturing the stomach. So it takes a while for them, especially when they grow up. Well, like 1 year old and 2 up, at least their stomach, like my son's stomach, is good. Now I just have to watch what he eats. For me, I'm a super I just like healthy things. So he has like organic milk right now. He has organic dairy. He drinks orange juice, and that's pretty much what he's on. I don't want him to have like juice and like sugary. And if he has a sip of soda, it's just a really small, like I'll give him like 3 sips of soda if he wants some of my soda that I'm drinking, just like 3, and that's it, because I don't like him to have sugar. He likes lollipops, but that's very rare. That's like once a week. He's still on baby food at his age, because he's super picky. He won't eat meat. He won't eat macaroni or mashed potatoes. And that's all babies are different. Like my daughter, she might love eating at 1 year old. I'll see soon. But yeah, so all babies are different too, so you don't have to freak out. Just always ask your doctor if you're freaked out. But yeah, um what else? Oh, anyways, what I was getting at is Dr. Brown's bottles for me works. Like right now with my 5-month-old, I'm getting her some at on Amazon that are really cute. They're even decorated. They're a level 3 Dr. Brown's bottles, but they're level 3 because that's 6 months and up. She's gonna be 6 months because she's 5 months right now, but she's gonna be, so we're gonna get them soon. And they have a heart shaped and a rainbow shape. They're really cute. They're pretty for little girls, so I'm gonna get those for, because the right now she's on a small Dr. Brown's bottles, but now she's going to the bigger one because she eats a lot. She eats breast milk with formula because that's what I produce some milk. I'm a pumping mom since both my babies don't latch, so don't beat yourself up about that either, because some babies will latch, some babies won't, and it's not your fault and it's not your Tata's fault. It's just, they say it might be your Tatas, or like, you know, all women have different things, you know, and different shapes, so it could be that doctors say, but sometimes it's just the baby don't want to latch. I tried both my kids latching constantly, both of them, and they both wouldn't. So I just pump. I pump every 3 hours, store that milk in the refrigerator, and like I said, my daughter has formula with breast milk because I don't produce that much milk, but I want her to have the nutrients at the same time, because my son had all the nutrients from my breast milk too by pumping. Usually I last it for a year with my son. Right now I'm going on 5 months with my daughter. I'm going to try to make it to a year again with pumping and milk, and then after 1 year old and up they can have dairy milk and whatnot, but usually I give them organic milk. Like she would be the same thing like her brother, until like soon weaning off my son to go to sippy cups, and then I'll potty train by this summer 2023 now that he's 2. You can work on that as early as you want or as late as you want to. Don't let other moms be so judgy with that too. Like, go with the flow of what's comfortable with you and what your doctor recommends, but also at the same time you as a mom will know in your heart. Like I said, I was busy being pregnant with my daughter. When my son was 1 year old, I was just too busy. I was throwing up a lot with her last year, so I was just too busy to even consider. We even have the toilet to potty train and bottle wean them off, but like I said, people would be so judgy. Just do you. As long as they get off by 5 and 4, obviously that's a yes. They need to be off bottle and they need to be potty trained by 5 and 4, unless they have autism, unless they have a disorder. Then let your doctor to let you know that. But anyways, my recommendations are, like, I love Dr. Brown's bottles, but use whatever bottle your child prefers, because all babies are different. Diapers, all babies are different. Like, some will have rashes and some diapers would just fall off or just be, yeah, like I said, pay attention to the rashes. For me, it was weird, but I love Huggies. Pampers would give my son rashes all the time. I'm testing them out right now with my daughter, but only because somebody gave them to me. That I was like, cool, you know, that they were still brand new, but they didn't use the box. So I was like, that's perfect, because that's my daughter's on a size 3 Huggies right now. But I loved Huggies. Huggies didn't give both my kids rashes. Huggies are more expensive, so if you want to go get the Costco brand and try them, you can, because that is cheaper. But Huggies to me work for both my kids. They're expensive, but they worked for me as a parent. I love Huggies. They worked great. We tried Loves. They're so generic. They're cheaper and generic. I understand if you have to use them, but they fall off both my kids, and they don't give them rashes, but they just fall off too easy. The sticker won't stay on, so I just didn't stay with those. I tried Honest. No, those are like super generic and thin too for me. But like I said, all moms are different. I just recommend Dr. Brown's bottles and Huggies diapers, but that's just my recommendations. I'm just saying, as a mom of 2 already, a mom of a 2-year-old and a mom of a 5-month-old, that's just recommendations for that. Sippy cups, pay attention to, like, make sure you take off the sippy cups all apart, just like the bottles, or the sippy cups will get mildew. I learned that real quick with my first. I was like, oh my gosh, there's like mildew growing in one of them. From, like, you have to make sure, like, you part everything. Like, it's like crazy. I threw a certain brand. I wish I would have known what brand it was though at Walmart. I got a brand and it just kept getting mildewy every single time. Like, he'd use it and it'd be clean, and then afterwards it'd be like, how did it get mildewy so fast? Like, yeah, just residue on. I threw them away. I was like, never again. So what I use right now, yeah, you just, like I said, just pay attention to that. Always clean throughout the whole bottles and cups. Sippy cups is very important. Like, I always take them all apart, just like the pumps, I just take that all apart. Like that, like I said, that's the pump I'm using. Actually, I'm using a Zumi. Zumi's not bad at all. It's pretty good. Like, I love it. I recommend it. It's like cheap, but it's doable. It's perfectly fine for me, and that's what I'm doing right now. Like I said, pumping every 3 hours. But yeah, just mom life video right now. But yeah, as a mom, sometimes you gotta take care of yourself, sometimes you don't, and just do what you gotta do. This is all extra hair that when I was pregnant last year, I just got so many baby hairs that I never had before. That's why my hair's all. I'm about to get a haircut soon because like I'm shedding too because it's winter, but I got a bunch of baby hairs when I was pregnant last year. I'm 5 months postpartum and it's lovely. And then I'm even chunkier than I've ever been, especially after having two. I was getting in shape before I got pregnant with my son, my first. I was 145. Now I'm 153 pounds, so you will gain weight. But I plan on this summer. I loved going to the gym before I had kids, and I plan on going back because it was definitely my stress relief. So that's just one of the things I love to do. But Lord knows I want to go back as soon as they're both big enough to run around my mom's to be babysat of like gym time. It's a stress relief, and you get so chunky. Well, especially winter too. I eat snacks, especially after pumping and whatnot. But yeah, mom life, it's gonna be okay. Just ask God to help you one day at a time. That's all you can do as a mom, one day at a time. Love your babies, make sure they're safe. If you need a break, just give them to a loved one for 1 minute, as long as they're never gonna beat them or molest them. Like, make sure that. And yeah, moms need breaks too. Amen.